Yeah, that dog was beautiful, but I got one that actually kind of, I think, matches your outfit. Here, just go to this camera because all you see is my ugly mug on that one. There you go. Hi, this is Javier. Hi, buddy. Yeah, you're like, yeah, I don't care what you have to say. Just give me some kibble.
Now.
I love that. He is such an obedient dog. Now, the reason he's here, he's not a pet on the set, but rather he's part of something just as cool, stories. Children's stories. And we have Teresa Pelham, who's been writing books, writing children's books for a while, based on dogs and their stories. But this story is a little different. How did it come about?
Because we got Javier when he was 1.5, we really didn't know what he had done for that time.
Right.
And so, of course, you speculate. You say all day, well, maybe he was a brain surgeon.
Right, yeah.
And so I had a couple of ideas, and I took those couple of ideas to some elementary school students in Maine. I got a group of third graders together, and I said, maybe he was a king. Maybe he was a prince. And they ran with it.
Kids have the most imaginative ideas.
Third graders have the best
And so
ideas.
you were looking to them for inspiration.
I just sat there and took notes the whole time. And the notes say funny things like, a kingdom of cats.
Ooh.
That's what the kids came
Are you
up
the
with.
head of cats? How do you feel about that?
But what happens is that he gets rejected because they find out he's not a cat. Then he ends up aboard a cruise ship.
Well, that's where I go to drown my sorrows when I find out I'm not a cat.
Well, he was
right?
working.
Oh, okay.
They hired him as a trumpet player.
Look at you! As we're talking, he's just like, yeah, you're talking about me.
And I told him that he had to keep his ears up during the interview because he's the cutest that way.
Yeah, he is. When you, as a children's book author, I love how you went to inspiration from third graders. How easy was it to write the story from that?
You know, it was pretty easy because the kids gave me all these great ideas that it turned into something about inclusion, which I wasn't really planning.
I get a kick out of that, too.
But, I don't even think the kids knew that they were doing that, but they said, well, maybe he gets rejected because he's not a purebred dog, or maybe he's not from the right area. So we just kind of took off with it. But one thing that I did differently this time was I included words that third graders don't necessarily know.
Really? Like what? Give me an example.
Souffle. Charismatic.
Okay.
Right? So I just put them in bold.
Yeah.
So rather than talk down to them, because usually if a book is intended for third graders, they don't include words like charismatic.
Simpler words, yeah.
The other thing that I did different, Are you running the show?
Well, I'm fine. I'm just petting the dog. I'm good. No, the one thing that I do love that you did a book as I was thumbing through is you left the last couple of pages blank.
Yeah, there's some lines in there because there are so many probably untrue histories of Javier Lopez that you could come up with.
Because if you're going to have a story that is culled from kids' imaginations, you might as well let them take that ball and run with it in terms of the imagination and coming up with new adventures for Javier or new places to go or maybe new words like bouillabaisse. If you master, if you do souffle, you can move on to mirepoix. Can you do that? No,
I don't think I can do that.
That makes two of us. I know there's an X in there somewhere. What do you hope, with all these books that you write about dogs, I mean, what do you hope kids get out of it?
Well, this one is kind of interesting because I really hope that, of course, my rescue message gets across, that all dogs deserve a home.
Yeah.
But I also want kids to know that their imaginations are valid and that they can write their own little stories.
Very, very cool. You're seeing some great illustrations in the book, by the way. And who did those?
Yes, Sarah Pellucci. She goes by Sarah the Artist online.
Love it.
I gave her the guidance of, can you make him look as ridiculous as possible? And look at it.
I don't think that's possible.
She delivered. Look at those ears.
I know the I know the possibly untrue history of Javier Lopez. You can get it on lots of bookstores. We'll link you to that at fox61.com. We should just point out before we got to go. Teresa used to write for The Current. Now you're writing all these children's books. Which one is better?
Oh, I can't say that in this building, can I?
Oh, you
have their
absolutely
high points.
Can. Nice to see you.
You
nice
too.
to see you too, Javier. Oh my gosh, absolutely adorable.